All right, good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Hailey Nelson, your friendly pediatrician, and I am outside today because the weather is finally getting nicer here. And we are here to talk about ATV safety. So Safe Kids Central California, you know that we love doing our lunch alerts. This morning, this is more of like a coffee break, but you might be watching it later. So we're here. We've got a special guest. So Dr. Atherton, why don't we have you introduce yourself and tell everyone why you decided to join me today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nichole Atherton. I'm a trauma medical director in Visalia at Kaweah Health. And we collaborate frequently with the trauma centers in our region, including Valley Children's and CRMC in Fresno. And so we are really wanting to get the message out about ATV safety because as a region, we've really noticed ATV injuries are going up and we want to help prevent those.
Okay. And why do you think injuries are going up? Like why that bump right now?
I don't know if it's summer, people are outside having more fun. I don't know why, but I just know that we see more, and the best thing to treat a trauma is to prevent it from happening in the first place.
Yes, I love it. That's why I'm here. Prevention is my jam. I'm like, let's talk about things so you can have fun and you can be safe, and then you're not coming to meet you in the hospital. You're not, calling to see me in clinic, like that you're, especially for kids. Like this is all about kids. So we want kids happy and healthy and out at play. So with ATVs, let's start with like the equipment. Now, protecting your head is the most important thing. And I talk to kids a lot about just wearing helmets. And then I say, well, what does your helmet protect? Your head. What's inside your head? Your brain. So typically, for people who have seen the show, I'm like, ooh, here's the crown that I wear as Dr. California America. But we're talking about something else. We need the big helmet. So tell me what families need to know when they're looking for safety equipment.
Well, just like clothes and shoes and everything else, helmets come in a variety of sizes to fit a growing child's head. And it's super important that it fits properly and snugly, not loose, so that if, heaven forbid, there is an injury or a crash, that helmet is staying put and protecting what's inside.
Yes, so you really want it to be snug on there. I talk a lot about bike helmets, and when you see a kid riding by and their like helmet's up and you can see that whole forehead, I'm like, that's not the right size for you. The same thing goes with really getting one of these on here, and it's like a little uncomfortable a bit with like there's padding, but it's gonna squish you so it stays where it's supposed to. Now this helmet, and let me find the injury part. Okay, so this is a helmet that was actually in a crash, 70 miles an hour, and that person's head was okay. They had other injuries, but their head was okay. So this is why these are so important. Okay, now you were telling me before we even got started that there's other things that we need to size. So we're sizing our helmet. What else do we need to size when we're talking about playing with ATVs if you choose to do so?
There are a lot of other pieces of equipment that can protect the rest of the body that are important before you even think about getting on an ATV. That includes goggles for eye safety, if your helmet doesn't have a shield, long sleeves, long pants, and then over the ankle boots to protect the delicate ankles and feet. Flip-flops or even sneakers, it's not good.
Okay. So I'm like, again, you're talking to a pediatrician. So I'm like, oh, head and shoulders, knees and toes. Like a full body assessment, and why, like, not having exposed skin, but like those ankles, making sure your feet are covered and that you've got a supportive boot as opposed to a flip-flop. Like that, if you are in an accident and you are wearing flip-flops, like Dr. Atherton is going to have a lot of work to do. So please wear your equipment, right?
And I know it's hot. We live in a hot area and all that equipment and the helmet, and you get hot, but it really is so important to stay protected and then stay hydrated. If you're going to be sweating more with all that gear on, keep the water elevated.
Oh, I like it. Bring your water with your safety equipment, and you can cool off afterwards, but if you are riding. Now, I understand ATVs come in different sizes too. So we have all the different equipment that you've got to put on your body, but before you hop on one, that there's different sizes to even just which one you're supposed to ride.
That's right. There are 5 total different sizes of ATVs, 2 for adults and 3 for youngsters. And on each ATV, there is a large label that
Mm-hmm.
is very clear, and it has a big mark on it that says what age of the driver should be. And no age below this, no age below that, and it goes up as the piece of equipment gets larger, as the person gets larger. And so it's very important that just like a bicycle or a soccer ball or a baseball bat, it's fit to the person.
Gotcha. So just as you grow, and for kids, they grow fast. So just because you have one that might have been working for them, like if your child has hit a growth spurt, you probably need new safety equipment, but you might also need a new ATV for them to ride on. Again, if that is something that you're doing, because if they're on the wrong size equipment, that could really cause a problem in terms of like rolling it over or doing things, right? Like that there's a reason why they're sized to bodies, both for weight and for agility and things like that.
Absolutely. The size of the rider and the size of the bike need to match so that there's balance and that the rider can control the piece of equipment that they're on in a safe manner without hitting a tree or losing control.
Gotcha. I'm going to guess, do the kids ones go slower than the adult ones? Is there a speed regulation thing too there a little bit?
Yes, definitely. The younger, the smaller ones do have less speed ability than the adult size.
Okay. And then how do parents know? Like, so if this is something that you want to try, how do you know if your child's ready?
Really, parents are the best judge of whether or not your child is ready and able to ride an ATV. And there's a lot of different things that parents need to be able to assess: physical development, hand-eye coordination, emotional and social maturity, and whether or not they're risk takers. I mean, parents all know innately whether their child is ready to jump off that cliff or not, and they're really careful kids. So a parent is the ultimate person who can tell whether or not a child can ride an ATV and they're ready.
Gotcha. Yeah, the kids that have no fear, you've got to watch them a little bit, especially before you put them on equipment that they like take off. And even thinking about developmentally, like my son, we had one of those Hot Wheels like cars, and when he first started driving it, he would just like drive it forward and like just crash it into the fence, and like, and then he figured out how to reverse. I'm like, you know, it wasn't an ATV, it was just in our backyard and playing, but how kids learning how to drive and when they might be ready, and that each child is different. So really knowing your child, but then also we got to talk about if your child's going over to a friend's house. So that's really a situation that I know we see here, you know, as a peds trauma center, that it's not always the child whose equipment, like that they own it, but it's the friend that comes over.
Absolutely. And so if your child is going to a friend's house and there is an ATV available on site, if you want them to be able to ride, give them their equipment and give permission. If they don't have permission, they shouldn't be riding. Also, adults, if your child is going to be a passenger on an ATV, they need to have all the equipment also, just like they were a driver. And the driver needs to be an adult, a responsible adult, just like in a regular car.
Yeah. That makes sense. We're not going to just let an 8-year-old driving around a little kid like back roads. I know that sometimes it seems like, oh, what could happen? But you're talking to the person who really sees what could happen. So if a child just wants to go for a joyride, then the grown-up who has one is welcome to equip the child to make sure you have all the equipment on them just for being a passenger. So they don't get to have their little flip-flops on. Well, you have your boots. They have to have all the equipment. And then you can ride around, being cautious, because again, it's a little one behind you, so don't bounce them off, sort of thing, but really thinking it over. So if your child's going over to a friend's house, just how, you know, I'm a mom, so we talk about like, hey, if a friend's coming over, like any food allergies, like what do I need to know? Like asking that important question of if you're a family that owns ATVs and your kids enjoy them, are their friends allowed to ride? Are their friends experienced at all? Because even if the parent's like, oh, sure, that sounds fun, if their child has never ridden one, like, do you want to take that responsibility of like teaching them and you don't, you know, necessarily know? So how you can avoid some of that. All right, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Technical issues out here. Anything else that you want us to share with families today about ATVs?
The bottom line is it's supposed to be fun, and fun is definitely possible on an ATV. Safety first, then fun.
Perfect. Safety first and fun. You heard it from Dr. Atherton today down at Kaweah Delta. Thank you so much for joining us with Safe Kids Central California. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Stay tuned. We've got more episodes planned. So you can like and follow us on Safe Kids Central California, our Facebook page, where we post all these videos, and you can watch the replays as well. So for the rest of today, stay safe and be well.
Bye.